Hello, my name is Dawn, and welcome back to Have That Talk. Today, I want to talk about why we get so defensive. So, we all know that situation where we're presenting something to the team, and then somebody pipes up and says, "Oh, but have you thought about this?" Or they ask a difficult question that you haven't prepared for. Ooh, you know that feeling where you suddenly feel, how dare you? Who are you to question me? So, in this moment, something is happening that David Rock from the NeuroLeadership Institute called SCARF, which is basically the premise that our brain system is triggered by certain aspects of ourselves that we feel are sacred and untouchable. So when they're questioned or attacked or put into doubt, we respond as if that's a real threat. Our brain switches on, adrenaline goes up, and we respond as if it is a real physical attack. So SCARF is an acronym and stands for status, certainty, autonomy, relational, and fairness. I nearly forgot there. So, status. This isn't about blowing up your ego. It's just about wanting to feel respected, wanting to feel that your ideas matter, wanting to feel listened to, wanting to feel that you're being taken seriously. This is a human need and it's really important. The C stands for certainty. And we all like a little certainty. That's why children like routine. That's why we always go to the same coffee shop. We like to know where things are. We don't like to be surprised. When we're in a situation where things are unpredictable, unreliable, or there's somebody who's unpredictable and unreliable, then we respond. That makes us feel anxious and makes us feel vigilant and alert and thinking, oh, I've always got to be on high alert because if I'm not, I'll miss that moment. So that's why certainty is so important for us. The next letter is the A, which is about autonomy. And this points to the fact that we need to feel that we're our own person. This is why, for instance, if you have a manager that's very overbearing and always telling you what to do and always looking over your shoulder, you feel restricted and trapped in that moment. That's why micromanagement has such a negative effect on a team. And this sense of autonomy is what feeds into our need to go and explore and be curious and have our own ideas and take initiative. If that is quashed, then it suppresses our innate need to just be out there and be ourselves. After A for autonomy comes R for relational. This points to the fact that we are social animals. We like to be part of the group, we like to be involved, we like to be included. I mean, do you remember that time when everybody else was invited to the party, but you weren't? This is a really, really human need. And if we're excluded or left out, that impacts us and we react. That's why the relational part of things is so important. To tie things together is fairness. And we all know what it's like when things aren't fair. When somebody gets more on their plate than the other, when you hear that your colleague is earning more for the same job than you are, this feeling of it's not fair is really elemental to our sense of humanity. You can see it in children as well. When they're fighting over toys and one child gets the toy first and the other one says, it's not fair. And you know what? As grown-ups, we sometimes do that. We may not shout it out. We may not be fighting over toys. But deep inside, if we think that it's not fair, we could react. So be aware of these things going on. in yourself, but also try and observe them in your interactions with your team, or when you see people interacting with one another. See whether you can identify what somebody's trigger point was in that moment. When that happens, I like to say somebody has stepped on your scarf. When you realize that, when you recognize that in other people, this helps you become better in your conversations. You can see somebody's reaction and think, oh, okay, so maybe I stepped on this scarf. What can I do to bring the conversation back to the main thing that I wanted to cover, the things that matter? So be a little bit of an investigator. Go out and explore. Go out and observe. I'd love you to tell me what you found out and discovered. Go out. Don't step on anybody's scarf, but have that talk. Okay? That's all for today. See you next time.